This is not how I want to start my day. What is going on, people? Welcome back to more esports talk. Last night, a hot take from xQc. I'm not taking crap from a guy who got himself banned on purpose on Twitch. We talked about that a couple days back. Yeah, that's a little subtle jab there because he is now taking a subtle jab at some CSGO pros being apparently washed up, going to Valorant. I will give you guys this, a bit of back and forth discussion sparked by this, and always curious what your thoughts are about it. Now, I will say part of which xQc did say is probably true. The other part, the narrative that apparently Overwatch pros hate CS pros or personalities and vice versa, I got no idea where this stuff is coming from. So tweet on screen for all of you as xQc pops off with a hot take saying all the washed up CSGO pros will try to go pro in Valorant like they did in Overwatch, then complain about res, shields, and the game revolves around more than simply shooting a gun and ultimately quit. And right off the bat, yeah, pretty hot take when you say washed up CSGO pros. That's not a very nice thing. Of course, CSGO pros have been getting pissed off ever since this whole Valorant discussion has come about. We have seen many CS and FPS pros out there target the game for what it looks so far. Let's be honest, it's lackluster compared to what we expect. The hype around this game, what we have seen so far has not really, done anything for me. A lot of people out there certainly on both sides of the fence. It has a lot of potential. Don't get me wrong, when it comes time for Riot Games, Tencent currently running, the biggest esport in the entire world in League of Legends, it automatically gives this next game in the FPS genre certainly a shot to make a big change. But when he calls out CSGO pros and not having a chance in Valorant like they did in Overwatch, that's where he actually kind of, he's probably partially true. We saw this with the gigantic Fortnite hype, and even more so when it comes time for Valorant to be in a competitive esport, has a lot more backing when it comes time for Riot Games and Tencent, and Fortnite was definitely, I would say, not expected to take off like it did, and still technically not really an esport. So when it comes time for Valorant to come around, I do think we'll see a lot more other esport pros go to Valorant and give it a try. And to xQc's point, I think we'll see a lot of pros shift away shortly after because it's not quite as simple as an FPS can be. FPS obviously complicated for its own reasons, but much, much different compared to if you're going to compare what CSGO is now to what Valorant looks like it's going to be. It obviously won't be easy for a transition, or as a transition, maybe an Overwatch player would make to the game of Valorant. But hey, we don't know if that's even true yet. It could be easier for a CSGO pro to go to Valorant than an Overwatch pro, although I think it would be a safe assumption to say, as of right now, from what we've seen, it's certainly going to take a bit of both. I don't know which one's going to be easier. xQc doesn't either, but I think it's a decent point to make. We will certainly see a lot of pros, whether it be from CSGO or Overwatch or Apex, try out Valorant and fail because it's not going to be near as easy as their current game and what they're used to. That's a fair point. But what got me going is one of Slasher's replies. Now, I know this guy is also known for his hot takes, and he goes back and forth with train wrecks about supposedly the Overwatch community always being targeted by CSGO personalities, which I have to side with Flom on this one, who asked him a couple of times, what CSGO personalities or pros or talent are you talking about? Because I myself have targeted Overwatch, and a lot of the news outlets have as well, but only for rightful reasons. It's not just in response to people saying CSGO is dead or CSGO is done. It's the fact that raw numbers are out there for the future of Overwatch League, the way Blizzard has handled a lot of things, the way OWL has lost a bunch of talent. That's why I have targeted Overwatch. That's why a lot of people have targeted the game in general and its future as a competitive esport with the Overwatch League. I don't know where the narrative all of a sudden became that personalities from Overwatch are being targeted by personalities from CSGO, because I have really yet to see top CSGO personalities continually bash Overwatch. Like, we pretty much, in my opinion, focus on our game, but that also goes vice versa when Trainwrecks also adds in a few words as well. I don't really see Overwatch pros. Maybe I don't see everything. Of course, that could be true as well. I don't see a lot of Overwatch personalities going after CSGO either. I think the main narrative that I derive from all of this is, yes, there are a lot of kids out there and adults that are fans or players or viewers of their corresponding esports that might target other ones, right? If I'm a CSGO viewer, I might trash on Twitter Overwatch, and vice versa. If I'm an Overwatch viewer, I might talk bad about CSGO, but I don't see this whole narrative of personalities going back and forth. I think I need to see evidence of that because I don't know who he's talking about. At the end of the day, let me take this somewhere else, okay? At least maybe this. And I say maybe very lightly because we could have a lot of angry people out there that will always stick to their one game. But how about this, guys? Let's change the narrative. As Overwatch pros, community members, viewers, players, and the vice versa with CSGO members as well, I think we can all agree we can all gang up on Valorant currently, given its current state. You know, both Overwatch and CSGO are better off than Valorant is currently, and I think we can either team up on it and bash it, make it a bit better by giving it constant critique and saying, hey, it's not exactly what we expected to be, and that way we can actually build a better game like Valorant, and then we'll see what happens with either current Overwatch pros or CS pros that go to Valorant and see exactly how they do. Now, I'll be the one to say it. I do think CSGO is currently a better and a far more popular esport than Overwatch. I don't see personalities out there bashing it because of it. Let's see who lives the prolonged future, but let's get it right here, guys. Whether you're a fan of Overwatch or CSGO, a new competitor is now here, and that's going to be Valorant. So if you want to team up on someone, don't team up against each other. Team up against the new guy. Either make him better or tear him down. Either way, we got a new competitor in the esports scene, especially in the FPS genre, and you probably should be worried about it because we're going to be talking about it for a heck of a long time until it either does fail or it does succeed at the top level. What do you guys think about that? xQc Hot Take is now teaming up Overwatch pros or personalities against CS pros and personalities when really the true enemy slash what could be a great friend in the future, especially for an esports news channel, is Valorant. The new guy, the young gun, and still in development. Not even announced for, not even out in alpha yet, and people are still calling themselves pros. Crazy time. What do you guys think about this? Until next time, breaking down esports gaming news here every single day, all day long. If you guys have a story, my DMs are always open. I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ta.